Morning all. All right, so there's going to be a change today because there isn't really a break where there's no games on, but we're in between the first and second period of Pittsburgh and New Jersey, so I might as well do a quick news of the day type video, and as need be, I can throw other videos of this nature into the rotation. For Pittsburgh fans, of course, a lot of players out with injury. Jared McCann coming back for this game, and then Tanev was a late scratch due to injury. So Tanev is out. He'd been red hot lately. He joined Zucker, Malkin, Blueger, Friedman. So Blueger, Zucker, Malkin, Tanev, that's 4 of your top 9 forwards. I know Blueger spends time on the fourth line too, but to me, he's top 9. To me, he's one of their best players. One of my favorites anyways, and a very important player too. Big penalty killer. And so that's going to affect their penalty kill overall with both Tanev and Blueger out. And, yeah, we'll see how things go for Pittsburgh and how long they're out. We know Malkin is week to week. We'll see how long these guys are going to be out for. But this is that annual rite of passage for Pittsburgh where everybody's hurt. And usually they end up winning games when everybody's hurt. It's just what Pittsburgh does. There was a minor trade this morning, although it does have semi-major ramifications if you're an Avs fan. Hunter Miska, as a backup, as the guy in relief, has not played well. And I think that's something that's just obvious. You look at the numbers, you can look at the highlights. He has not played well. Johansson has now been added from the Buffalo Sabres, and apparently there were multiple teams in on this. At least that was the rumor before it actually happened. And they get back a 2021 6th-round draft pick. So this draft, which is seen as kind of a wild card, it makes sense for teams to be picking up extra draft picks. I would think Buffalo, Detroit, probably Ottawa will be adding. I would think they can add a bunch of the later round draft picks, especially because this draft is so wide open and it's seen as being one that's really, really tough to call and scout and all that stuff. So, yeah, Buffalo adds a pick. I'm wearing a Colorado jersey because I like them picking up Johansson. I think he's played okay for Buffalo. I do wonder if being willing to trade him means that Ullmark's coming back. I haven't seen anything saying Ullmark's coming back right away or when, but the other thing that I think is interesting too is trading Johansson and him going to Colorado, and just looking at the overall situation. For Buffalo fans that were concerned, it doesn't look like Buffalo's games are going to get stopped or that there's any COVID problems with the Buffalo Sabres. Whereas with the Bruins, there are. The team's in self-quarantine until Tuesday. This is let's see how many more instances we have to deal with. I don't know how many have tested positive. They don't tell us really. It's usually the player will tell us. But yeah, DeBrusk, Krejci, Pastrnak, Smith, and Kuraly would all be out if the Bruins were playing today against Buffalo. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 of the 5 are top 9, and Kuraly can be a top third line, can be fourth line. So yeah, that's a lot of forwards, and that's a tough break. So we'll see how things go for Boston, how long they're shut down, how many of these players end up being on that list for a full week, and how many of them end up being on there for a couple of days and let off. But Bruins are shut down at least through Tuesday in quarantine, and then they could hit the ice again on Wednesday. We'll just have to see what happens. But the fact that it's the only team right now that we're talking about this with, for right now, I think is good news, and we're in a situation where the states should be fully vaccinated by the end of May. At the very least, I think everybody's supposed to have had their first dose by the end of May. So we'll see if this all goes away at the end of May. I would think it does. And there's already some players that have been getting vaccinated in the NHL. I would imagine that depends on where you're playing and all of that wonderful stuff, but we'll get there. So I know there's some still with the whole they should just cancel the season, but it's not going to happen. We've just got a couple more months of reporting on this stuff and teams getting shut down here and there. Yeah, the Canadian side of the border is still possible, of course, because the timeline is a lot longer in Canada, but hasn't been a problem yet. That's me knocking on wood. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're watching the Pittsburgh, New Jersey game, it's been a fun game to watch so far. We'll see how things go in the second. And the next game up is Nashville and Florida. So that one starts in a few minutes. Enjoy that too. I'll talk to you guys again soon.